Hi, this is Farrell. Welcome to my video YouTube channel and page 19 of ROBot Todd. Today I'm doing this video of the whole page from, I didn't do the little thumbnails this time, but you can see them on the right hand side. I had written out on my sketchbook underneath this board that I'm working on here, and I did the thumbnails before I started recording. So yeah, they're kind of small and in pencil, but I changed them up a little bit. This page was pretty simple, straightforward, just 4 panels of 2 figures hanging out mostly. Well, the first panel is there's those like little gremlin creatures from the previous page, kind of all scattering under the light from ROBot Todd's flash that he flashed him with his face light thing. But yeah, they scattered and hid, and looks like I did a little reerasing or erasing of the redrawing of the first panel after I had kind of sketched it in. And it's pretty much how the thumbnails look, although I think I had it cropped in the thumbnails, and then I decided just to do full figures because I'm kind of like obsessive about that, trying to include the whole figure in the drawing. So a lot of time spent penciling on this one, not because there's like a lot of detail or anything, but just because I wanted to get the form right, the figures kind of feeling like natural. The couple little hiccups or little challenges in the thing in this page were this doll character that you see in the second panel, in the third and fourth panel as well. I wanted to include in the first panel because it's going to be from like ROBot Todd's perspective. And so I was thinking of how like the cast shadows against the back wall because of his light. Oh yeah, that's the first drawing I ever did of Sept right there. And this is another, like, first comic I ever did of Sept. It's like a pencil page, and there's a little ROBot Todd painting I did. But yeah, this Sept character like talks to this imaginary, not imaginary, but this being that only they can see. And I realized I put like first I had a drop shadow underneath the doll, which didn't really make any sense because ROBot Todd was casting the shadow so that it would be behind him. So then I whited that out, and then I redrew, or I did another shadow behind, which you haven't seen yet because it's more in the painting stage, inking and painting stage. But I added a shadow behind it, and then I realized, like, oh, if this is like a psychic projection or whatever, not everyone can see it, the light probably wouldn't work in the same way. So I took the shadow out entirely, and then actually I realized that wouldn't be affected. I didn't want to color anything from the first panel other than putting the shadows in, because just to sort of demonstrate how bright the light was. Just wanted everything to be just the white of the paper, except where I made the ink lines. Yeah, I even thought about going over the white out, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to let it just be the line, the pen line, to sort of designate, and hopefully it reads correctly. But yeah, you can see there I sketched the doll in, and yeah, I ended up coloring the doll because I realized, like, oh, the light, it wouldn't be affected by the light at all. It's just sort of like you see it in your mind's eye, and not the actual light wouldn't change how it looks. So that was the thing on the page that I changed a couple times, but it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, like I said, I spent a lot of time penciling this one compared to other pages. Usually when I take a long time penciling because there's like a lot of little detail and stuff I want to get right, but this one was more just a bunch of little figure drawings that I wanted to make sure I had correct. So here you can see I started the ink, the Faber Castell Pitt pen, and Sept's hair I wanted to be all black. Like you can see in the copy of the Often Wrong there on the right. It's a book of mine that has a couple little drawings of Sept in there, in a comic that I did with Rick Remender for the Thought Bubble comic from the year we went out to that show. And yeah, so the hair is going to be all black with some highlights. So I just decided to just do outline outline the hair mostly, and I'm going to like, or you'll see in the video, I mean, I already finished the page yesterday, but I went over it with watercolors, black watercolor. That's pretty much the only color I used for the hair. Most of this page is gray and blue, and some white out, some gray gouache as well. I mixed in a little gouache too with it, just because I kind of like the sort of smooth, opaque quality in certain areas, especially over like areas that I inked. I wanted to add like, I don't know, it just kind of smoothed it out a little bit and had kind of a warmer feel to it than like the first panel. I'm okay with it being sort of the harsh line, but there's certain areas that I wanted just to feel a little softer. And so yeah, here you can see pretty much the finished stage of the inks. It's like these guys meeting for the first time. I've never had a comic with these two guys in it. In fact, I've only had Sept ever in that one-page comic. So this is like kind of a big deal for me to finally get to use this character. Todd has shown up in, from It Walled Hurt and other books of mine. I've had Todd in them, but this is I've been kind of excited about drawing this scene where they get to meet for the first time, because they'll be hanging out pretty much the whole series. So here you can see what I was saying before about inking the hair. I was obviously the most interested in doing that first, just because I don't know if this is the reason, but a lot of times when I do hair like that, it's just a little tricky for me. So I just kind of wanted to get that in first, put that down right away. And yeah, here I'm adding little cast shadows from Robot Todd's light. And the other color part that I had in that first panel, you can see originally I was thinking, I'm not going to color the doll because it'll be reacting to the light too. But so I just had the red from the cheeks be slightly there, and then the bag that Sept is carrying, the little valise that Sept is carrying around. So yeah, there's the first pass, and then I didn't actually record this coloring session. I just wanted to get to work the other night, and just decided just to go and start coloring without recording. This is the finished from session number 2, pretty much what that looks like. First session was just mostly just the red bag and the hair, and then this second session was me doing the backgrounds, the background color. I just kind of wanted to set the tone for the whole thing. And then it was just a matter of me coloring the suit. I knew I wanted it to be this Payne's gray, this kind of darker mid-tone gray, and and then just kind of going in and adding little highlights and touch-ups here and there, like Todd and the doll. Same kind of deal. I just sort of modeled it after that page that I have printed in the Often Wrong, the thought bubble page, where the doll's dress, the hair's kind of sort of muddy black, and the dress is like a gray. I just wanted to feel kind of like old and dirty and raggedy feeling, like and then the like little apron that the doll wears is like a kind of a yellow, like kind of stained yellow, kind of the same sort of yellow that the little gremlin creatures, their jerseys are as well. The other little thing on this page was I didn't want Robot Todd to talk yet, so when Sept introduces herself, it's like, hi, my name's Sept, and Todd, instead of saying, I'm Todd, like just kind of has like a symbol, like sort of like a pictograph come up of his name. I was just thinking like, how do I want to do that? So I just kind of made it like kind of like a sign, like a signage kind of thing, and had this little crown type thing come out behind it, and an arrow pointing to himself as Todd, and shake hands. And then the doll is being a little jerk, because that's sort of her job, is to nag everything that Sept says. It's kind of like the worst parts of Sept is personified in this little doll. So that's the page for this week. Thanks for watching. I have a Patreon, Farel Dow, and an Instagram, Farel Dow. And I'll see you soon. Bye.